Hi, I'm Chris Wardlaw for CarGurus, and that compact crossover SUV parked behind me, well, that's the redesigned 2016 Hyundai Tucson. It's bigger, it's more refined, it's more stylish, and it's more technologically sophisticated than ever. But is it perfect yet? Not quite. Let's go for a test drive, and I'll explain why. Now, what we're driving today is the 2016 Hyundai Tucson Limited with all-wheel drive. The only option on my test vehicle is carpeted floor mats. That brings the price tag to $32,320. There is an ultimate package that you can get for an additional $2,750, and that adds automatic emergency braking with pedestrian detection, a panoramic sunroof, and a few other options that are nice to have, but maybe you don't really need them. Now, under the hood is a turbocharged 1.6-liter four-cylinder engine. It makes 175 horsepower at 5,500 RPM, but that's not really the important number to know here. What's important with this engine is torque. It makes 195 pound-feet between 1,500 RPM and 4,500 RPM. What that does is it gives you a nice, broad power band from which to draw upon, and once the Tucson is moving, it actually feels really powerful and energetic. The problem with the engine is, like most turbocharged engines, it exhibits some turbo lag. And when you take into consideration that the engine is available only with a 7-speed dual clutch transmission, which is an automated manual gearbox, there is an aggravating delay right off the line between the dual clutch transmission engaging first gear and the turbo lag. Oftentimes you step on the accelerator and it feels like nothing is happening. Now, there is a drive mode select system with this powertrain, and you activate it using a button right here in the center console. It switches between eco, normal, and sport driving modes. I found that when I engage sport driving mode, it helps the situation a little bit, but not enough to eliminate the aggravation. Once you acclimate to it though, your aggravation levels do decline. I will give it that. Now, aside from the turbo lag and the transmission engagement issues, the Tucson is really far more refined than the vehicle it replaces. The wheelbase is a little short, so it does feel a little choppy from time to time, a little bouncy depending on the pavement. But overall, the electric steering, the suspension tuning, the brakes are pretty well done. Now, considering that the Tucson costs over $32,000 as spec'd, it's really hard to reconcile that price with some of the interior plastics. Basically, everything from about this point in the cabin down takes on kind of a glossy sheen, scratches pretty easily, shows dirt really easily. But otherwise, Hyundai's done a very nice job with this cabin. The layout is kind of austere, but it's nicely detailed, and all the controls are located where you expect to find them. They're easy to operate. The markings are big. The plastics used are of high quality. They did a good job there. Now, in the Limited model, both front seats are power operated. You get 8-way power adjustment, and the driver's seat has a 2-way lumbar adjustment. They're really comfortable, and the driving position is very well done. This up here is nicely padded for elbows. The back seat sits a little low, and the windows are a little high. My 5-year-old couldn't see out while she was sitting in her car seat. Other than that, thigh support's pretty decent, and there's a lot more leg and foot room in here than in the previous generation Tucson. Now, behind the rear seats, there's 31 cubic feet of cargo space, which is decent, and it's a lot bigger than the previous Tucson, but it's still a little bit small compared to some other vehicles in the segment. When you fold the rear seats down, you've got 61.9 cubic feet of space, which is also an improvement over last year, but is still small compared to the competition. Now, when you get the Limited model, you get an 8-inch touchscreen infotainment system with navigation and a few other features. I found it really easy to use. I like the graphics. It's not a problem at all to pair a smartphone and stream music. But the navigation system does not employ natural voice recognition, and you are guided through a series of prompts whenever you want to input a destination. Both times I tried to use the voice controls to give the navigation system a specific address, it failed, and I had to pull over and manually input the information. As far as safety equipment is concerned, if you get the Sport or the Limited model, you get a blind spot information system with rear cross traffic alert, and a reversing camera is standard on all Tucsons. You have to get the Limited model and you have to get the Ultimate package if you want the automatic emergency braking system and the lane departure warning system. As far as crash tests are concerned, the Tucson aced the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety's full crash test regimen. It got a good rating in every single assessment, plus when it's got the automatic emergency braking system, the IHS gives this vehicle a superior rating for front crash prevention. There are a lot of great reasons to buy a 2016 Hyundai Tucson. It's really safe, it's covered by one of the industry's best warranties, it's technologically sophisticated, and look at it, it looks terrific. Unfortunately, the turbo lag issue and the transmission issue are real bummers. Add the fact that it's got smaller cargo volumes than some of its competitors, and those are a couple of reasons to skip it. But if those aren't going to bother you, then this should be on your test drive list. Be sure to see CarGurus.com for my full review of the Tucson, and please comment at the bottom of this video. If you like what you see, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. For all of us here at CarGurus, thanks for watching. An average. So if you're planning to carry a lot of stuff, you might want to double think that. No.